Welcome back, everyone. Hi, Toki. Uh, I have streamed avatars up now. This is only the second time it's been on stream. So people start off as eggs. You have to buy yourself a Digimon from there. And if you're a sub, you get to use Guilty Gear or Nier character. Or I think there's another one. Hi, Toki. It's so good to see you. But yeah, sorry for the prolonged absence. Honestly, being sick for that long has hurt me very, very much. My stream momentum has completely died, and I've languished in like a lot of the playthroughs I've been trying to do. So I want to get back to it. I'm not completely 100%. I still have a bit of a throat cold, but like, it's been a month. It's been more than a month. I've been sick since my birthday, and even before that, Dragoon. And it's been crazy. But hi, welcome in, Dragoon. Yeah, I have stream avatars. It's currently, for followers, they're Digimon, but you want a different kind of thing. I have some ones that are available for subs, you know, as a little extra incentive to be a subscriber. But the Digimon, at least, there's a lot of variety. Where you'll find something you like to look at. I've tried to price them out, so then like the mega tier and ultimate tier and the champions are more expensive than like the rookie and then training. So I don't know. I find it out. Took a while to set it all out. Most people just have it, you know, you pick your design, but I actually wanted to make the act of, you know, making the money on it mean something. Yeah, it's been really intense. I think I've had 3 separate colds this year. Yeah. I'm sorry, Dragoon. I feel you. I really do. But yeah. I'm gonna have to put a pause on the Learn Blender thing. I'm just, mainly, I just want to get back to, like, momentum. So I'm gonna get back to the Of the Devil's stream. Because I like Of the Devil, and I haven't quite gotten through all of Chapter 2 yet. So I got sick at Thanksgiving and it lasted to Christmas. Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry. I got sick around New Year's, and it's been constant since then. Only recently started feeling a lot better. Gage in my chat was also sick as well. Which, Gage was my roommate, and we were like, you know, making each other sick the whole time, which, wow, it was awful. But yeah. I'm glad to see you in here, Dragoon. I hope you're doing good now, at least. Alright, I guess I'll just transfer over to the game and start doing my read-through of it, unless you guys have some questions you want to ask. I mean, I don't mind chatting for a bit. I'll still if he had asked. Oh no. Oh, if you want to come in here and tell me about the new Dot Hack game, because some people know that I like that series, I'm aware of it, and I am so excited for it, and as soon as it's out, I probably will play it here, because I am looking forward to that. Yeah, let's get to the game, I guess. Hopefully this works out like it's supposed to, but we'll find out. Whoosh. Ah, it worked. Been a while, so I'm a little rusty at this whole thing. And here we are with the Devil. Is the sixth dot hack? Is this the sixth dot hack game? By my count, it would be like the eighth. Hold on. So dot hack 1 through 4, infection, mutate, infection, mutation, quarantine, and outbreak. Or the first 4. Dot hack GU volume 1, 2, and 3. And then there was a fourth, but it came with like a bundle of the Dot Hack GU series. So it'd be 7th, 8th, depending on how you count it. Also, there was another one, I think. That came with another pack-in. I don't know. Oh gosh. Been a bit. GU had 3 volumes, I believe. And then a 4th. I really like the EU series, but I like the original series more. There's a fighting game, MMO, and mobile gacha game, all official, and yeah, that's true. That's harder to quantify though, because a lot of that didn't come out over here in the West, especially the MMO. I would love to play Fragment. If they just brought back Fragment, didn't do much to update it, they just brought it to PC, I would play it, like right now. The mobile gacha game, yuck. I'm not much of a Link fan. I know. So the fighting game, it's hard to get me motivated to play mini fighting games. Alright. Here we are with Of the Devil. Here's our main character lady. Her name's Morgan. Morgan. That's her last name. She's our bad bitch, and I love her. I don't have the first and second episodes completely finished here on the channel. I think I finished the first episode and then started the episode 0, and then started the episode 1, but I switched to episode 2 when it came out, so there are also a good number of books and manga for the, well, yeah, Italian animes. The big, so the Dot Hack conglomerate, is like a big project in which the frontrunners are either the anime or the games, depending on how you see things. But it's like a multimedia kind of situation when they make a new Dot Hack series, and I kind of love it because I have read AI Buster and AI Buster 2 and Legend of the Twilight Bracelet, and all that, and it's so good. The Black Rose books, which are um, the events of the first four games through the eyes of Black Rose herself. Yeah, the Dot Hack Rebirth that's coming is not linked to the original canon at all, which I'm kind of glad they decided to reboot it. Start fresh. It's been a while, and they need to introduce the identity of Dot Hack in a world that's already seen um, Sword Art Online, and show them why Dot Hack is the better series. Which is kind of funny because CyberConnect 2 is the people who actually made a lot of the Sword Art Online games. Yeah, I think it's funny that they went from having to make the Sword Art Online games. Mm-hmm. Sausage Cat, welcome in. I hope you're having a wonderful day too. Alright, we're going to get to Up the Devil before I get too distracted. Here's my high roller playthrough. I'm on phone to check in. Ah, okay. Well, welcome in, Jack. SAO had its moments. I loved Mother Rosario arc. I don't like SAO at all. And I won't apologize for it. Hi, Kiki. I see you. Can't talk. Good luck. Okay. Was it quiet and in the back of the limousine? The privacy, at least, was nice. But with Abbott and Costello right in the front, I had no way of getting information out of them, not even passively. So instead, I spent the whole ride trying to play out all the different ways this could go. I haven't liked any of them so far. I suppose I should have felt more gratitude when we pulled up outside an imposing skyscraper instead of an alley. I suppose it's a good sign that no one's put a bag over my head or stuck a needle in my neck. Okay, you're in. It's just a little check-in, redeem. Let me know you're here. It's a way to, without having to say anything, to say that you're here. All these little eggs rolling around. Can't wait to see you guys start buying your first Digimon forms. Thank you. I I know that people like my voice. I think I sound like a nerd. I suppose it's a good sign that no one's put a bag over my head or stuck a needle in my neck. But I don't feel like celebrating. For all I know, they really don't have a clue about what I did in the lower wards last night. But for some reason, they've placed their attention on me. And there's little I hate more than unwanted advances. I just tried meowing in my throat as a desert. No sound came out. Oh no! Some water in you. I'm gonna, before I get too into this, I'm gonna pour me a glass of water as well. And make sure my throat doesn't dry up during this big long reading set. Ooh, a lot of eepers. Alright, I'll take another drink. There, for you, Sachi's Gato. I'm also not a fan of being made to wait. Why? Why just sitting out in here? We were too late. Only by a few min. He filed. He filled the time slot already. Then we've got no chance of maybe if his other meeting went well. Are we on hold, gentlemen? In the world's most expensive waiting room? Wyatt. I take it he's glaring at me behind those shades, but I'm more interested in the sweat glistening on his forehead. Somehow, of the three of us, I'm the most relaxed here. This is becoming embarrassing. Can I at least take in the view while we're here? You can take photos if you like, so long as you're quiet. Really? No, your phone won't work in here. Go figure. Alright, so we get to look around this beautiful environment. Gosh, that's loud. I'm gonna need to turn down my sound. The illusion isn't unimpressive, I guess. Windows into the heavens, sparkling like raindrops across the puddle. It might even be appealing if it wasn't trying to be something it's not. You look up and see hexagons above you, in the lower wards too. Rich or poor, people can't imagine themselves under open sky anymore. Not even in their wildest dreams. Is it trying too hard to look unconcerned if I sit down and start reading the news? Maybe, but my boredom outweighs my apprehension at the moment. Not my fault they failed to be sufficiently intimidating. ESS Proposition City ahead of next month's convention. Next month, the city will play host to one of the most competitive political conventions in recent memory. The Senator Matthews expected to face significant opposition from party outliers before securing his monopoly. But while the border national the while the border sorry everyone, it's been a bit. But while the broader nation eagerly anticipates the oncoming political circus, city officials are already under fire for a supposed lack of sufficient convention security. The city has already approved a record-high monthly budget for the police department, including fully unrestricted overtime for officers of all ranks. But a coalition of private security services, including White Adder, Fang, and Demico, has released a press statement urging city council to consider contracting their services ahead of the convention. Heartbreak was bad enough. Now we're hearing that cops are dying in the lower wards. When are when are city officials going to say enough is enough? Said Mimiko, head of press relations, Arthur Gowell. And I guessed he was a man. We have the utmost respect for all first responders, none of them blaming the hard-working police for these failures. How could they succeed when political insiders insist that they try to apprehend criminals with one hand tied behind their back? Our contracted forces world-class training in crowd pacification, preemptive de-escalation, and enhanced interrogation techniques. And any of the subhuman scum who emphasize empathize with anarchists won't dare leave their mother's basements once we can get our boots on the ground. That's a guarantee. Tina canceled declined to comment when we reached out to them to ask whether they would be issuing a request for proposals on such services. The total city population is expected to swell next month as the national political spotlight draws lobbyists, delegates, political action committees, and voters in ahead of the 2-week-long process. Most of the committee members we spoke to expressed optimism about the increased economic activity and tourism the convention is expected to bring, but some who refuse to give their permission to publish their identifying info rudely and loudly voiced their criticism. 2 weeks for a convention when the nominee was decided 2 years ago is a joke. And where the punchline? Putting the bill to pay cops to stand around outside parties full of thousands of do-nothing staffers and campaign managers? This article was presented to you advertiser-free thanks to contributions of our generous donors, including Daniel Mass of the Daniel Mass Foundation, Rebecca E. Jones of the Rebecca E. Jones Foundation, Jessica and Ronald McGilly of the McGilly Foundation for the Arts and Sciences, the Rockford Fund for Public Broadcasting, and readers like you. Thank you. Please sign in to read the rest. No. I suppose it's less offensive than a bare advertisement or paywall, but why list your donors mid-article? All it does is make my eyes glaze over. Whatever, I got the important part. The city's hosting the convention next month, putting pressure on the council to vote on supporting a candidate. It's contested. The contested convention, Matthing's the incumbent and frontrunner, but if he doesn't get a show of support for the locals, it'll have as much impact as a fly on a windshield. The city council's of much more concern to those private security mercs. Salesmen trying to convince them that the city needs even more armed men playing with their phones to be truly safe. Everyone knows Matthings will be the candidate. That was decided years ago. The contested convention will just be him finding a balance between how much public opposition he's willing to stomach against how many favors he feels like giving out. This country's already a circus without any bread. You'd think at least they could do is make the performance performance is entertaining. What was that in the article about cops dying in the lower wards anyway? Pretty heavy-handed to just make up that kind of thing. Even when pearl clutching and pitching yourself at the same time. Because some idiot raised the water temperature 2 degrees, it'd certainly be easy to scoop out. You're an impatient, undignified idiot. You could argue that it's an efficient way to fish. Well, I've looked around at everything that caught my eye, and now I'm all out of ideas. Everything except maybe they don't know we're here. I'm gonna try knocking. What are you? Hey! Before I get the chance, creaking oak draws my attention to an alternative entrance on the other side of the water. Now, Hikari Tower residential floors. Grand Hall. Pomp and circumstance, ceremony and ritual. For some reason I thought that the Mafia, of all people, be a little bit more efficient in their execution. A little more honest about what they are. Evidently not. Artifice with every glance, costumes and makeup abound. Is this disappointment? And even here, in the supposed bowels of the underworld, there's no escaping the etiquette of it all. Hi, Moya. See you resubbing there. I hope you're doing well. I know you're a little further on than me in Of the Devil, so probably not at spoilers for you. I think you probably finished episode 2? Yeah? I don't remember. She's the one. Doesn't look like much. Suddenly their posture stiffens even further. A true feat. Their necks subtly turn to a pair of doors, each of them attuned to some signal I'm not receiving. Be still. The young master returns. You're late. Hold on. Wait. Young master, sir, Everyone, slow down. We came as soon as we found her. Sir, traffic was... This is some sassy lost child. Silence. Yes, sir. What time were you told to return by? 4 o'clock, sir. And what time is it now? Permission to check my phone. You're late. And the task of finding one woman and bringing her here in a timely manner. Sir, we... You'll speak when I tell you to, and not one word further, or else I'll have your teeth removed by the curbside. By way of curbside. Is this a prank? Am I being recorded? He who wishes. Oh no! Am I losing connection? Mother fricker. Did I drop? Okay. I don't see Maya's messages in my thing, but I think it was because my internet's being fucky. Alright. He who wishes to fight must first count. So says Sun Tzu. Please let this be a prank. And I don't think you can fathom the cost of your tardiness has incurred. If the lead up to my execution is some kid reading from Art of War, I might just... What is the #1 rule in this family? Timeliness, sir. When money gets wasted, it can't be replaced. But time, it can be replaced. But time only goes one way. It's always running out. The loss is permanent. Second wasted as a scar on this family's face. This house's face. Timeliness is next to godliness. So say I. Oh God. So if you two ever waste my time, the host's time, again, expect to be dragged through hell. I'm already there. Now both of you get out. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Useless. You, red woman. You're being addressed. Forget pride. I just want this over with as fast as possible. You're the lawyer, correct? You may answer. As fast as possible. I am a lawyer. Morgan, criminal defense. Mr. Hi, Vesper. Egg. Yes, there's several egg. How how should I address you? As all outsiders do, by my name, Makoto, of House Ikaria. You, Morgan Criminal Defense, have the great honor of being summoned before me. Don't bother bowing once you start. You'll end up prostrated all day. We have important work to do. Right, out of an abundance of respect for your time, Makoto, I should let you know that I still have no idea what I'm doing here. Oh, kneel on a bed of nails later, or some such thing. Miss Defense. Mrs. Really? The house has need of your legal services. Oh. Would you give me a moment to clear my throat? I need to switch gears. On instant. Right, then. So you want to hire me? One of our own is being slandered by multiple homicide charges. You will defend you will defend him. You want to hire me. I'm flattered, Makoto, but did you pull my name out of a hat? Pick a random page in the phone book? I have many books on my phone. Libraries full of esoteric knowledge across countless tomes. You will have to be more specific. Sorry, misspoke. What I mean is, this is House Ikaria. You must keep a small army of lawyers on retainer. Surely any one of them would be happy to help you. True, we have lawyers. Competent ones, expensive ones, and some who are both. But the best of them are all preoccupied. That's it. They're all preoccupied. All just preoccupied. Preoccupied means busy. Thanks. But I'm still not sure how my name specifically was. You have a customer survey you want filled out. Miss Defense. You were recommended. What does it matter how it came about? Normally, it wouldn't matter. But when the client I'm recommended to is one of the richest, most well-connected families in the country, it gives me pause. I don't have any friends in high places. Not anymore. Begsper. That was hard to pronounce. You're all eggs. You have to buy a new form in order to not be egg. That makes it hard to see this as a favor. Not when my employer... sorry, wrong voice. Not when my employer doesn't even know my goddamn name. Of course, my apologies. No doubt you have other questions. Very well, I'll permit you to ask them. Such a gentleman. I wasn't brought here because of what happened last night, and this must be another job. Meaning all of this starting back at the bar. This all has just been their idea of a power move. Thank you for insisting that I get to visit your estate in person. Beautiful here. An oasis of old world sensibilities amidst a desert of steel and neon eyesores is what the house elders say. I've never seen anything like it. It matches your family's reputation for class. Ah! My family's reputation is power, not class. I'd take it a step further and guess you're renowned for violence rather than power. But that's a moot point. Violence can be classy. And from how this house is talked about in the headlines I read on the drive over, the nature of your family's reputation seems to vary greatly depending on who you ask. Some think you've got half the gangs in the city under your control. Others think you've left all that behind and are no worse than any other corporate family. You're passing out? Well, you know, you can go sleep and listen to the dulcet sounds of my voice as I read this silly game. Or, yeah, you know, just go to sleep. I don't know of a good reason for you to stay up, other than, you know, it's 6 p.m. and you probably shouldn't sleep in the middle of the day. But who am I to say? Would be a pretty normal bedtime for me, considering. Are you expecting me to ask you what you think? What I think is that I'll need some basic information if I'm adequately to defend your interests. We're financiers. You don't say. Lending, investing, taking over, buying out. The Icaria Financial Group founded nearly 2 centuries ago. Loaning funds is a high risk and high reward, but as you can see, our results speak for themselves. Okay, we have some terms and things to read. The Icaria Financial Group is a private investment company and one of the nation's most exclusive asset managers of 2086. We believe that investing should be accessible to anyone, and that's best accomplished by tailoring their investment portfolio to suit their specific needs. Interested in working with us? Let's get started on your profile below so we can determine your options. Remember, even if you unfortunately aren't a good fit for IFG itself, we'll always be happy to set you up with one or more of our partners that are better suited to your class. Not interested in sponsored research results? See further with a premium account. Datapads and Neo-Liberty are covered in other episodes, so we'll not be worrying about those. Makoto Icaria, date of birth, February 27th. 146 centimeters. Wait, such impudence. Blood type, E negative. Occupation, heir apparent, unemployed, student. Likes, biographies, Shogi, Amber. Dislikes, tardiness, tarnish, group assignments. Favorite figures, Saladin, Sun Tzu, and Hannibal. Favorite phase, Vae Victis, literally means woe to the conquered. Relaxes by building, painting models. Cute. Woodhead pat, and probably could lose my arm for it. These are articles that we've already read. These two are from, this is from previously in the episode. These are, from this one. Icaria Financial Group. Fancy way of saying you got their start as a mobster loan sharks. It's not impossible to get this rich with loan sharking alone. But such unsavory work wouldn't get them into ballrooms and boardrooms, tiers of society. You gotta rip people off with mortgages to do that. Is lending the house's only income stream? No. Through Aurea, our holding company, the house controls any number of what a civilian like you might call legitimate enterprises. And yes, we did found the Regen Pharmaceutical Corporation, but what's past is prologue. Engine, they're a drug company, one of the biggest. You're saying you've no relation to Re-Engine presently? The company went public years ago, and Aurea divested our shares not long after. We were given one seat on the board as formality. That's the extent of it. Given a family like This only takes... Why is he so suddenly so humble? He doesn't know the meaning of the word. He's downplaying their pull with the re-engine. Re-engine is a Re-engine Pharmaceuticals LC. Re-engine is a global leader in pharmaceutical research, development, and distribution. The company that puts your health before any other concern. Our groundbreaking research into combating modern medical challenges help millions live happy, healthy lives. And we're proud to keep fighting that fight as we pursue our corporate goals. Put our medicine in the cabinet of every home, improve patients' lives in their communities, minimize our environmental footprint through sustainable ventures, operate with dignity and pride in our ethics, deliver consentient and deliver consistent, steady growth to our... Oh, consistent. That's what that word is. My brain is dying. Steady growth to our investors. Shortly after our founding, our researchers developed metformin, the first orally ingested treatment for type 2 abnormal diabetes, freeing millions of adolescents suffering from its effects from being subjected to painful injections. Since then, we've gone on to improve our formulation, and that constant dedication to perfecting our medicines has made a national leader in pharmaceuticals biosimilars. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't notice the ads. We were mostly reading the article there. I'm sorry, everyone. Then the house must have a reason to want to distance themselves from the company. You're being very modest, Makoto. And more than a little vague. It's only polite. It's unnecessary talking to your lawyer. You aren't my lawyer, Mr. Funds. But you will be working for me. So you'll have to become accustomed to putting your needs second. He's deflecting. And if he's trying to be subtle about it, he's not doing it well. I doubt it's possible for a company with the big boot heel as Re-engine has no relation to anything that happens in the city. Drop it for now. I'm in no rush to wade into boardroom politics again. Anytime soon. Makoto, I'd like to know a bit more about you, actually. How long have you... I am the only son of Raphael Ikaria, and the only grandson of Daisuke Ikaria, CEO of Ikaria Financial Group, patron of this family, and chairman of the house. I gather that those titles are all one and the same. As one destined to succeed, the headship commanding the family servants is my responsibility and my birthright. So if one of them needs a lawyer, it falls to you. When our loyal men, women, or their families need help, it's my solemn duty to ensure they are taken care of. And your age? What a boorish question. I knew that peasants would raise outside our stratus had little understanding of finer things, but I assumed that one with a law degree would know would be educated enough to know what is and isn't appropriate to discuss. Oh, that was the beginning of the ad. I should have paused. Shit. I'm sorry, everyone. I really need to get better about the ads. Well, welcome back. Um, Makoto, is definitely a character. I love her. Or them. Him? Hold on. Doesn't say. Them. We're gonna go with them. But I assume that one, what is and isn't appropriate to discuss. Uh, just because I am younger than some does not mean I am less capable of managing people who work for me. Does it, Min? Sir, no, sir. You definitely command their respect. That is no coincidence. One of the most frequently noted characteristics of great men who have remained great is loyalty to their subordinates. So says George S. Patton. That is so interesting. This is an important point. Perhaps another quote is called for. I don't think that's necessary. I'll grant you another. If soldiers are punished before they've grown attached to you, they will not prove submissive. And unless submissive, then will be practically useless. So says Sun Tzu. Back to back. Yes, a second quotation was called for in this instance, if only to emphasize to you that no one stays useless to Hasikaria for very long, one way or another. I'll admit, I was a little taken aback to step off an elevator and into your enclosure out there. The gardens? Yes, our groundskeepers work hard on them. Does the illusion of the sky keep from a... Does the illusion of the sky come from a live recording somewhere else? Or is it generated from programmatically? That'd take quite the equation. It is impressive, yes. As for how it works, I don't have the technical minutia in front of me at the moment. I love this little embarrassed face. I would die for you. That's okay. Of course it is. A lion does not concern himself with the exterior decorations of this sheep. It is your exterior and your decorations. What does it matter anyway? You want the specifics so badly, I'll have one of our servants put you in contact with the contracting firm. That's alright. Something tells me the consultation alone would break my bank account. The black suits. Do you appreciate the warm welcome of Makoto of House Ikaria? Really? But legal consultations are usually more private than this. Are we certain we need the prenup gallery? Let it be known, and let it not be said that House Ikaria is not accommodating of its guests. We're more than capable of compensating for this not allergy of you allude to. That's so sweet of you. But do all these cards really need to be present for this conversation? If you're referring to the additional security, it can't be helped, circumstances being what they are. Circumstances? And if you're referring to my retainers in general, then I suggest you step back into the garden and take a deep breath. Clearly, the city's fumes do not agree with your constitution. You must be lightheaded if you think you're worthy to hold a one-on-one audience with the next head of this illustrious house. He's a prodigy. He's a prodigy to be this insufferable at such a young age. Thank you for indulging my curiosity so graciously, Makoto. Conquer the stingy through generosity. So says Buddha. Correct. Perhaps your education is not quite as deficient as I feared. But I should make clear that in this case, I was using the quote to subtly imply that you are stingy with your own graciousness. Got it? Yep. Shall we move on? I believe you mentioned this homicide. Multiple homicides. Tell me more. My head of security was arrested by the police last night in the lower wards. They found him brutally beaten, drugged, and tortured. And instead of bringing him straight to the hospital, they arrested him for murder. He's been framed, and you must prove his innocence. I love this. An instant. Is there something wrong with your voice? Is this peanut allergy you mentioned? Is this that peanut allergy you mentioned? No, I just lost my train of thought for a second there. I'm not used to my luck changing this fast. One of the richest families in the city wants to pay me to prove a man's innocent of crime I framed him for. Right, then might I ask why he was found in the lower wards? I get the impression that Igaria territory is generally positioned more vertically. The city is our territory, but it is true that our presence is felt more strongly in some areas than others. They captured him early yesterday, ambushed by cowards and dragged down to that stain of a neighborhood to be tortured senselessly. Well, he was tortured. I can attest to that much. But I don't believe in senseless violence. There's always a purpose. It's usually staring you in the face. People just don't like making eye contact. Do you have any idea why he was taken, or by whom? It was the Blue Bloods. They made no effort to hide it. In a worthy opponent, I might call that commendable. Knowing them, they're just too stupid to value deniability. I'm sure. And I'm sure there's no love lost between your groups, but kidnapping and torturing is beyond the pale, I agree. And the police are even worse. Expected no help from those incompetent fools, but these charges they're making, they're utterly ridiculous. Sorry. Hold on, can I go back? Hold on. There was a thing, but like it skipped, and I wasn't able to read it. Hold on, where's the log? He was saying something and then was interrupted. I guess I'll just go with that. You think they want to pin 5 murders on him? 5? Did you say 5? Yes, 5. It's absurd. I can only take credit for 4 bodies. Acting so high and mighty, so affronted, so eager to blame us for the death of one of their officers. A dead cop. Is this what those mercs are advertising themselves with? What do you mean, one of their officers? Was there a UC or... No, Dave made the ridiculous claim that he killed some uniform while resisting arrest. As if a member of our house would fear prison. Would have never dared to think I got lucky here. These circumstances sound very complex, Makoto, and the police take the death of one of their own very seriously. What makes you so certain the man's innocent? Because this man's name is Sosuke Ikaria. The Hound. I've known him all my life. All 3 or 4 years of it. There is no individual more honorable, more devoted, more trustworthy. And not once have I ever known him to be violent, impulsive. He didn't do this. No, he didn't do this. But proving that is your job. About that, I haven't actually accepted the job yet, Makoto. But you will. If for no other reason than because we shall pay you more than you're customarily receive for a contract. Considerably more. Not everything's a question of money. Yes. Your meaning's taken. It needn't be silver or in gold. You'll have no complaints with your compensation. The favor of House at Cardiac can go a long way in this city. As can our rap. Oh, you should be threatened. Don't find it funny, even coming from a kid. However, the state thinks whoever killed those blue buds also killed the cop. Can't afford to sit this hand out. They'll go over every centimeter in that building. One wrong move, one hair out of place. If I lose here, I lose. Period. But if I win, throwing in a sized wallet in the pot before and is all upside. I understand, Makoto of House Ikaria. I'll take Sosuke's case. You say that as if it were ever in doubt. True prodigy. But he might be right. Maybe it never was. I chose to put that gun into Sosuke's hand when I could have plunged that knife into his temple. Maybe the line drawn from that moment to the razor edge walking right now perfectly straight. The line drawn from one to another is always perfectly straight. Another metaphor would be a bullet's trajectory. For all the talk of the wind resistance and breathing rate, Borealis effect, chaos theory. Can't exactly act surprised when the shot lands right where the crosshairs were pointing. Morgan's my last name, by the way, before you start writing any checks. You have enunciated. I love that embarrassed face. It's so good. In transit. Hey there, boss. Of course I'm fine. What did you think was going to happen? Yeah, all good news. You got quite the paycheck coming. Maybe bad news for you. You get a large crowd tonight. Yeah, tell Sarah to meet me at the police station address I'm about to send. The bread goddess. Wow, I'm being visited by a goddess. Hi there. Welcome in. We're reading Of the Devil today, a visual novel about like a cyberpunk future in which we're a criminal defense attorney. Or was it criminal defense attorney? It's one of those two. I don't know where the comic goes anymore. Yeah, tell Sarah to meet me at the police station address I'm about to send. Yeah, but the goddess of bread doesn't exactly bring a lot of power, so it's chill. I don't know, if you can supply me with unlimited breadsticks, you are my favorite goddess. Give me unlimited breadsticks and I will, like, conquer the world for your religion. Mm-hmm. I've got for her to do. I can supply you with unlimited breadsticks. Alright, so, where's the Holy Land and where should I start my crusade? There will be quite the paycheck indeed waiting for me, assuming I can win. But can I afford to accept it? Hey. No, actually, hey. Were any of those jokes around the office about your clients being connected to organized crime true? Oh, what? Is this some kind of honeypot? Trying to get a grasp on something? Now I know you're baiting me. The easiest. That's what she said, Leia. I'll still have bread. I'll still have basket that shit, though. I don't give a Why? Why do you make everything so hard? Come on. Like, come on, Freckles. Low-hanging fruit. Oh, I'm good. I've basically conquered all of Earth. Name one place that doesn't eat bread. You know, now that I think about it, I don't think I could name a place that doesn't have some kind of bread-related food. That is, of course, as long as you discount any grains, because some places don't use wheat. But there's other ways to make bread than just wheat. I have no idea what you're talking about. Obviously. Why are you asking me about the mafia shit, though? I'm currently working a case for the Icaria, whom I assume you've heard of. Definitely. Under circumstances that are probably vulgar. Absolutely. Which you'd be happy to brag about to me. Anytime. But I'm not well positioned to turn down the job outright. So I'd like to know whether there'll be restraint about parting ways afterwards. Why? I swear my... Oh, okay. Ah, I see. My chat's been a little bit buggy on my side. Do you not like getting paid lots of money? I don't like being chained. Fair enough. So you're like Just asking for my advice. The aura loss is incredible. Not going to attempt to parse that. I doubt you ever can. My generation's sense of humor is practically impregnable. It was very basic non sequitur, anti. It just wasn't funny. Not even. A non sequitur would be, what's the charge? That's just getting back on topic. The charge is homicide. 5 counts. Meh. You're probably fine. All the stuff you hear about mobsters being clingy with their lawyers. Give me your funniest joke and I will... If I laugh, I will join your following. Gosh, I wish I was funny right now. My biggest joke is me. Gosh, put on the spot. How about a dad joke? You know what really burns my ass? Puts hand against waist. A flame about this high. Yeah, I know, it's really bad. I'll see myself out. Goodbye everyone. Bye-bye. That's odd. My follows are supposed to be anonymous. Why is it giving the announcement again? Huh. You know what? I think that's a stream avatars thing. I'm gonna have to remove that. My followers are supposed to be anonymous because I like to be somewhat sensitive to those people who would like, ooh, squash Drew lushies. You squashed me. But I usually have them as anonymous because I want to be accommodating to those who get anxiety towards like their name that's being read out. But welcome in, Bread Goddess. It's because they don't want anyone who's been through their underwear drawers running around telling tales. Whatever poor sucker they pinned multiple homicides on. It's obviously not anyone important. I don't think he was framed. Not by his own people. Nah, pinned as in stuck with. Like a chore. Powerful people. Mob or no. If they get lawyers, it's for tax evasion and conspiracy charges. Dirty work's left in the pawns. And the whole point of a pawn is you don't have to think twice about trading them off. Alright. Yeah, rainbow. Did that go? It didn't look like it went. Hold on, I'm gonna test to see if my redeems are working. Whoop whoop. No, they're not working. That's great. Let me just fix that. Pardon me while I restart my model program because it's being bad. Sometimes I need to give it a kick. Here, we'll switch to my Fugi real quick. This cute one was very recently added one. Well, I restart Florida. Sorry, everyone. Glad to head out. Okay. Have some good rest. Okay. I'll look forward to seeing you back here sometime. Well, bye. Let's since this is no longer that other one, I'll flip it back this way. There we go. Right. Hopefully this restart fixes everything and I don't have to do anything too weird to make it work. Okay, let me just bring it back. Wardo's started up again. Here we are. Let's make sure that rainbow goes off. There we go. Rainbow. Alright. Guess I know the rumors are true then. Yeah, you uncovered my cool secret. Listen, actors, singers, celebs, they're all like expensive things and being the center of attention. Mobsters have money to burn and want the cologne of legitimacy. Everyone wants what they can't have. Okay, chill, F. Scott Fitzgerald. Great looking Gatsby ass. I still pine for thee, motherfucker. What? All I'm saying is there's mutually beneficial arrangements to be made between the rich and famous and the rich and infamous. So you bet your ass I was in those rooms. Negotiation appearance fees. And taking my 30%. 30%? You really are shameless. That's what she said. Alright. Thanks as always for your sage counsel. Hey, if you're really feeling grateful, do me a solid and call your aunts. They say they never hear from you. I know you can't be that busy. You're bored enough to talk to me. They're the ones who are busy. Alright, so, Witch there is, Morgan's, like, mentor. She's a lovely person named Masters. Victoria Masters. July 7th. Height 166 centimeters. Weight depends on the time of day. Blood type AB negative. Occupation lawyer to the rich and famous. Semi-retired. Likes waterfalls, manicures, macadamia nuts. Dislikes getting ghosted by my adorable granddaughter. Drink. Cosmopolitan double. Flex. Favors. Friends in high places. Luck. SSR on the first poll. She's a zoomer. So, like, the kids of today, that's what she is. She's an elderly one of them from, because this is in the future, but not that far in the future. So she's still, like, you know, alive. So all her humor and like her typing on things, it's all zoomer humor, and it's awful. I love it. Is this not wiggling? Come on, wiggle. Whatever. We're not representing the peon, though. Obviously, I wasn't sure what would happen after I left that crime scene. I wasn't sure what I'd find walking in here to speak to my client. But I definitely wouldn't have bet the next time I saw this man alive, he actually looked worse. Did you not hear me? I said, I'm your lawyer. Oh, I heard you. I'm just not interested in wasting my breath responding. I'm sorry, is there a misunderstanding here? Not at all. I understand exactly what you are. You and all your fellow, your companion is staring at me vacantly. Sarah, blink. You're embarrassing me in front of the Yakuza. That's a very dated word. Would you prefer to be called an orca? I'd prefer you give up and leave. What are you talking? I'm sure they've told you I've been softened up. That they'd broken me and I'm ready to sign whatever you put in front of me. Sorry to disappoint you. But the Hound of Vicaria doesn't heal. Oh, so okay. I'm gonna repeat myself plainly and slowly, because you are clearly have multiple head injuries. I am not a lawyer. I am your lawyer. Ah, right then. Very, very good. Thank you for coming. I apologize if I misspoke just now. I'd misspeak too. I apologize, everyone. It's the time of day in which some people get home, and for some reason, when they get home, my dogs go completely ballistic. I hope I caught it in time, and it didn't blow out everyone's ears. Eggs. Yes, egg. So, everyone starts as an egg. If you want to turn into not an egg, you need to, like, buy another avatar. Hi, Ellie. Welcome in. It's always good to see you. I'd misspeak too if I'd lost as much blood as you. Morgan, Esquire. I'll be representing you from here on now. Sosuke of House Ikaria. Sarah, paralegal and bartender. You're very young to have 2 jobs. Or 10 bar. Well, it's only part-time. Right. So, tell us, Sosuke of House Ikaria, what is your routine? You look very fit. My what? Are you asking about? Do you have me on file? Sorry, which firm are you from? DDD, MPM? I'm private practice. You mean? Sorry, the dogs went off again for no adequately explained reason. You mean you're not a mob lawyer? No, but please don't hold that against me. Everyone has to start the path of corruption somewhere. There are serious risks involved in representing a man with my background against charges like these. It's very sweet of you too. They say I killed a cop, miss. I realize I may look a sorry state at the moment, but I have not fallen so low that I'd sully the house's name by dragging a civilian into. Makoto thought differently. They're so anxious. Why? Why do they keep doing this? I'm sorry, everyone. I'm getting pretty quick on the mute button, at least. Makoto thought differently. The young master, you see. Shut up. The young master, you've seen him? How is he? Where is he? Is he unarmed? He was sitting pretty atop a literal throne surrounded by armed guards last time I checked. Thank you for that. No one's told me anything, if the young master has spoken on this matter, I won't go against his judgment. But I do hope you understand what you're getting into. I'm already on it, Sosuke. How well I understand what I'm in is something I think you'd be able to help with. Very well. What do you want to know? So far, all I know about you is your first and last name. It's a very important last name. But I take your meaning. And in truth, the first thing you should know is that I'm not worthy of it. Why? You disqualified due to pre-existing conditions. Sorry everyone, my dogs are being very anxious. I was born House Hayakawa. I was born Sosuke Hayakara Awa. The fourth son of a distant branch family. The only reason I bear the name Ikaria is because I was adopted into the main house as an infant, in exchange for lifelong service to the main family. Sounds like a great deal. Lifelong? How did you serve the Ikaria as an infant? There are various tax benefits if you have exactly 2 children. Don't be absurd. I am what you call a bodyguard. From the town, from the time I was able to walk, I was trained to be of service of the house by protecting the air with my life. From the time you were able to walk, there are a lot of demand for toddler bodyguards. That's all I've ever been asked of. That's all that's ever been asked of me, is to stand in the right place at the right time. You mean like a family, like in family photographs? Sorry, everyone. Like in front of a blade. Even a child can manage that. The house has given me everything I've ever had and taught me everything I've ever known. What meager service I can offer in return means nothing compared to the debt I owe them. You view your relationship with your family as a transaction? It is not something so cold, girl. It's a matter of loyalty. Right. So if you were standing So if you were standing before a judge and they asked you your name and occupation, you would say, "My name is Sosuke Ikari, and I am an eternal servant for a living." I would say, "My name is Sosuke Ikari, and I work as a head of personal security for Ikaria Financial Group." Sosuke Ikaria, date of birth, August 23rd. Height, 162 centimeters. Weight, 97 kilograms. Blood type, AB negative. Occupation, head of personal security, Garia Group. Likes, whetstones, paperbacks, bocce. Dislikes, the opera, wasabi, insects. Favorite author, Alexandre Dumas. Coffee, cafe, cafe, no, cafe Americano. Default status, non-work related messages will be blocked. I think he's actually a match to Makoto's blood type. Nope. Okay. I thought he was. It's like, Sosuke is AB negative, and I thought they would have matched him Makoto so that he could be a donor. But I think it was Masters that was AB negative as well. And what does that entail exactly? I am the young Master's bodyguard, and I lead all of his security teams. Nice to meet you. Properly meet you. A pleasure to make your acquaintance. And I'm Sarah, paralegal bunter and bartender part-time. Yes, I believe you already mentioned that. It seemed like we were all doing it twice. Well, thank you for your paralegal services, Sarah. And here I had the impression you had no sense of humor. What do you mean? It seems, in this particular instance, Adonai, it was you who misidentified with his proper manners as being Sir. What? We've all broken the ice. Makoto told me that this all started because you were taken captive yesterday. What happened? It was 2 p.m. The young master had just finished a meeting with the VP in the crane tower for 108. 2 p.m.? He wasn't in school? I'll ask you to refrain from mocking the young master in my presence. He is a child. Anyone can see that. But you've no idea the pressures that have been placed on him. Whatever my client wants. As I was saying, it was just after 2 p.m. Me and the rest of my team escorted him to the elevators along with our planned exit route. But our lift stopped suddenly in between floors 61 and 62. That was when I made a mistake. I had a bad feeling, thought it would be best to get Makoto to the ground floor ASAP. So I forced the elevator open, crawled out, pulled him out after me. Just as I got him out, the elevator started up again, separating us from the rest of the guard. It was a trap. A5051. Thing wasn't safe either. If they could stop the elevator, it's not stretched to think they could drop it too. He just lost the coin flip when he decided to exit. Yes, Sarah, it was a trap. Floors 60 through 70 were undergoing heavy retrofitting. The other elevators weren't responding, pumps were jammed. I reviewed the entire building's blueprints beforehand. Not very useful information, obviously, for a floor undergoing renovations, but I knew that there was construction elevator we could get to on the other side of the tower. I had to act fast. There was no time to doubt myself, and I did something unforgivable. You left the kid? I picked him up. I picked him up over my shoulder. Oh, that sounds like fun. Okay, so the ads are starting soon, so we'll just stop for a moment and probably do Battle Royale or something. Get you guys some points and fight for my amusement. I'm gonna find it pretty hilarious. All your little eggs are just like bashing you into each. We'll get you guys some points you can use on, buying an avatar or two, or at least one of you. Hopefully I don't win, but There's the ads. Well, while the ads are going, I'll just, do a few of these. Looks like it's down to Kiki and Vesper. Are you okay, Vesper? Why are you crying? Is Zeffy being bad? Is he kicking you too much? Kiki won. Job, Kiki. Kiki's probably asleep though. Everything okay, Vesper? Panicking? Oh no, I'm sorry. Is there anything I can do about the panic? Hmm? Go ahead and do another one of those. Ba, ba, ba. You might need to go to the ER. No. I hope not. Let the doctors do what they need. I'm sorry about the barking again. I know it's scary, but just let the doctors handle it, okay? So Kiki and Liv won those battle royales. Alright, welcome back from ads, everyone. I'll get back to the visual novel now. Oh, that sounds like fun. House, forgive me. Everything the young master does for the sake of his name's dignity, and uh, cats are tougher than you think. I think he'll get over it. So you escorted him to the service elevator, I take it? That's when things... Zephyr hasn't moved for hours? No. I hope he's just asleep, but that's not good. Hope he's okay. I'm sure the doctors have this. Alright, well, I'm gonna get back to this. Sorry. So, you escorted him to the service elevator, I take it? When things... Yes. I'm sorry, but I only remember a few vague details about what happened next. But I'll tell you what little I can. After I activated the lift, assailants emerged from under a tarped doorway at by 7 o'clock. One tall, one thin. Tall was around 190 centimeter and his weight, say, 100 kilograms with the mods. Thin was maybe 175 centimeters, but slouched, spotted as well. But what I saw looked stripped down, so he couldn't have been heavier than 70 kilo. They had needle guns, slow to fire, and slow to take effect. A memorable choice. Taller one shot first, jerked his arm when he pulled the trigger. Bad habit usually favored by street slinger punks who are used to compensating for the kickback of jailbroken zippers. He might as well have been aiming at the ceiling. Finn lines up a shot properly, laser-sighted, dialed in on the young master's left trapezoid. I shift into a horse rider dance and deflect the needle with my weapon. The lift door is open behind me, and another shooter steps forward at my 3 o'clock. So I thought, but all they had was a laser pointer. Literally a cheap trick. It worked. Tried to click from 8 o'clock and turn my neck. Feel a weight punch into my deltoid. A dullish kind of pain for an instant. I realized I was going numb. That's when I squeeze. Squeeze? He's talking about his mods. That's how I've always described it. Others say they flex or pull or hold. I squeeze. A ETA Type 2 external thoracic booster, some burst pain killing capabilities, but in short, it's a flex enhancer. Make 1 second feel like 15 in hindsight, and makes it feel like you ran a marathon during those 15 seconds. Once the kickback gets you. But I digress. I moved Makoto into an elevator, pushed the doors, shut myself, taking 3 more needles in the back in the process. I remember saliva pulling on my lip and then old concrete scratching my face, scratching my cheek. Alright, Sosuke. Regarding Makoto, these men laid a trap, targeted him with tranks, and failed. Then they take you instead? Yes, to my great shame. You were outnumbered and ambushed, but still managed to protect Makoto. What's there to be ashamed of? That I didn't see it coming. You're saying this has happened before? Dozens of attempts in the past year. Some headed off. Some headed off in the early stages, some sidestepped entirely, and some stopped with force. I knew their tactics, and I knew our vulnerabilities, and yet I failed. Sosuke, that is not correct. Hadn't I? Am I wrong? Put in that bodyguard 1 shot before being taken down. Shot? What do you mean, shot? You were not carrying a firearm? No, no one on team has guns. How's that? None of us on the security team had firearms with us. But you're a gangster. I am the head of personal security for Target Financial Group. Looking to an allied group's property and armed to the teeth insults their hospitality, make house look here or worse, impotent. And I am not a security expert, but I do think there's some gray area between armed to the teeth and empty-handed. I mean, didn't you just say you deflected their attack? I was not defenseless just because I wasn't carrying a gun. Oh? I had my sword. So lame. Oh, cool. You walk around town with what, a samurai sword? Just assume that it's a katana. Then yes. It is a signifier of my position within the house and shows that I am acting as a representative. Is it ceremonial then? No, it is quite sharp. As to that. So it's probably in terrible condition by now, seeing how the city's police manhandle everything else they touch. Welcome in, Dwarf Lord. Welcome to the dream. Today we're dreaming of the Devil, episode 2. It's a cyberpunk, capitalistic nightmare scenario where we're a lawyer, a criminal defense attorney. Wait, where's that? A criminal defense attorney. The comma, I don't know. Where is it supposed to go? Yes. Hi. A lot of my people are lurkers. They're mostly here, or probably just even tune out. But it's good to see you, dwarf. So yeah, currently we're talking to a Yakuza, or sorry, he doesn't like being called a Yakuza. He's a legitimate businessman, a bodyguard for House Icaria. He's our client. We might have framed him for murder. I'm going to lurk. I understand. I hope you have a good day at work, or at least an adequately not terrible day. Though it's probably in terrible condition by now, seeing how this city's police manhandle everything else they touch. Speaking of which, perhaps we should move on to the night's main event. Hopefully it is over soon. I hope so. Good luck. I know that works are often a pain. I'm sorry. Then they tried for Makoto. They got you instead. And they took you to the lower wards. Why? I've been wondering that. I've been I have been wondering that myself. Aren't you essentially worthless? As a hostage, you mean? I know that. Looking back, I was surprised myself to wake up at all, let alone in captivity. But it seems they had questions they wanted to ask me. What do you remember? Whatever they used on me, I can't remember some things, but how much of it was real, what order it happened in, that's all. Just say whatever comes to mind. It can be anything, sight, smells, voices. There are no wrong answers. I was bound, my wrists above my head, tied to something that smelled like iron, rattled like old iron. Tiles beneath my feet, some kind of bathroom or decontainment area. Good guess. They asked me questions. I said things, loose lips, like being drunk for the first time again. But I'm confident that I am confident that other than vulgarities, it was all incoherent. Because there were shocks, taste of blood. Must have bit my tongue during the spasms. There were beatings. I wouldn't have guessed. Adonai, you need corrective lenses. Sarcasm still is just how I grieve. I lost the opportunity, Sarah. Lost opportunity? Yeah, it's a damn shame. From what I can see, a pretty face like yours would go a long way with the jury if I wasn't pulverized. Ridiculous. Is he blushing? I agree about his face, Adonai, but I don't believe it is his only strong feat. Let us move on. Really? Well, in that case, how did your captivity end? Do you recall call escaping. I was blindfolded the entire time, but my ears weren't boxed so bad. There was a door that squeaked and whined, so I was new when someone's coming or going. One voice asked questions mostly. It was light. Other voice grunted when he hit me heavy. Other voices came and went, and then eventually there was talk. Through the door I heard they were talking to someone else. A new voice. Is it high pitched or low? Loud or soft? It doesn't matter. What's important is that they belong to someone new. Someone besides you and Ed, who was there last night. Did you make out any part of their conversation? No, not a word. There was a loud noise, gunshots followed by shouting and ugly sounds. And then a hollow pain in my skull as I lost consciousness again. When I came to, I had something in my hand. In my hands. Sharp. I didn't even think to ask what it was or came from. Started working at the bindings, rushed and clumsy, poked myself in the process. Got them loose, then took the gag out. The blindfold was so tight I cut it rather than try, and the damn thing must have been acting as a bandage because when I took it off, in the light and pain, I thought I had put my head open. It took so long. It took a long time to stand up. I could lie on the cold, disgusting floor forever. Just something was poking me, tucked into my waistband. A gun. A gun. Imagine my surprise. Check the safety chamber flexibly, but only saw 2 spent slugs. I was tired to be confused, so I just walked out that squeaky door and into red. Just red. Then I was blinking at an AV, handcuffed to my stretcher in an ambulance. Some cop reading me my rights, saying I killed 5 people. No, wait, some judge or official said that here. Woke up, ambulance, they all said I was a cop killer. Committing some strong language. I don't understand. You're held captive, interrogated, tortured, but you woke up armed and were able to escape? The cops didn't ask me any questions. I wouldn't have answered it if they had. It's been nearly a full day, and now I'm just saying it aloud for the first time. It really sounds absurd. This is your words asking mine. Do you have any theories on what happened? Only 2 possibilities come to mind. First scenario, one of my captors wanted to kill me, but used to do so they let me escape. Gave me a knife and unloaded gun, and wait for me to stumble out so they could miss me and be done with it. That plan didn't work. Somehow I limp out that room and shoot, cut, and stab, kill them all. That wouldn't quite... Well, that would be quite the feat, given your condition. Given the condition you say you were in. Yes, a tale for the ages. But it's not possible. Why is it not possible? Beep. I'm Mooney. You're beeping like a sheep. Apparently they do beep beep. How you doing, Mooney? I hope you're having a good night. Even if he had the motive and they were stupid enough to give him the opportunity, he was still lacking. Welcome in, Levelith. Welcome to the dream. I think he was lacking bullets. Brief I read. In the brief I read, 2 of the pods were shot to death. I'm sure you're highly qualified, Sasuke. I doubt you can fire a gun without bullets. No, like, not. As I said, the gun I woke up had already fired both its shots. So if we tell the police that the gun wasn't loaded, would that clear Sasuke's name for the 2 murders? There's no proof the gun was already empty by the time he got his hands on it. He's right. That gun was some kind of jailbroken mag rail. The only residue it'd leave behind was the static. So long as my prints are on it, that's all the evidence they need to claim I fired it. How about that second possibility then? The second possibility, someone walked into that building, killed my captors, and tried to frame me for it. That sounds like lunacy. We've already eliminated the other possibility. Insane trumps impossible. Like it or not, this bad Samaritan, their best shot. What is it? I'm just surprised you believe me. You haven't even asked if I did it. I never ask. It helps that I tell. A wise policy for the world you're setting in foot into. Not as if it makes any difference here. Even I don't know if I'm guilty. You were drugged and beaten. You're still injured even now. And we just reasoned that you couldn't have killed your captors without help. What makes you think you might still be guilty? Because I've killed before. The pale spark flickers back of my index raises slightly hard. I was expecting stepping into criminal underwear. Was I expecting this? Looking forward to it. A rare opportunity. Very frankly, someone else who's you mean. Yes. I was in the military. Okay. I have taken lives many times. That doesn't make you a murderer. Soldiers are given orders. I've killed people, whether or not a superior asked me to do. Who hasn't changed the fact. But soldiers. Are you a soldier, Sarah? No? So drop it. He is good at following orders. Take years to acquire that skill. I imagine it comes easy for androids. I suppose that's... Wait, that's an android? Did you miss the glowing barcode? And my self-introduction? Look, I'm tired. I thought those were highlights or something. Did my hair catch your eye? You have discerning taste. You see, each strand is actually... Was there something you wanted to say, Sasuke? I've taken lives before, so I know how I feel afterward. And how do you feel right now? Right now I feel... What is it? You remember something? I stepped out that door, I saw... I do remember one other sensation. I remember feeling the gripping of my sword. That brief you read, it lifted all the charges that caused, and like all the causes of death. Fifth man, they say I killed. How did he die? Stab through the back with a sword. Feared like he's a goddamn meat. Got the balls to ask us to carry him to a hospital? I don't think that's quite how I phrased the request. I've been paying close attention. You'd like me to play back what you said? Not now, Sparky. Reyes, she's just doing her job. It's not like she's asking. Oh, save the lecture, gray hair. Gray? Come on, my hair isn't... Here's, London. Kassim, London. Date of birth, May 5th. Height, 186 centimeters. Weight, 78 kilograms. Blood type, B positive. Occupation, homicide detective, first class. Likes, duct tape, mascara, oak. Dislikes, parking lots, tires, honeydew. Best stat. Finding new restaurants. Accommodations, none displayed at his workspace. None displayed at his workstation. Then wardrobe, more expensive than it looks. And that's Kassim, and Reyes's will come up soon. It's green, maybe. In case I haven't made it clear, I've never liked you, Morgan. You're breaking my heart. Hadn't noticed. But I never looked for a mob lawyer. Whatever my client's association might be. He's a cop killer. Innocent until proven guilty isn't a phrase I coined myself, detective. Reyes. Date of birth, October 19th. Height, 162 centimeters. Weight, 63 kilograms. Blood type, A negative. Occupation, homicide detective, third class. Likes, sneakers, volcanoes, the Paralympics. Dislikes, scalpers, hoarders, anise. Favorite TV, civil engineering documents. Shampoo, conditioner's more important. Undefeated at volleyball. Why isn't the keychain wiggling? Actually somewhat important. Oh, don't worry about that. The proving won't take us long at all. You always take pride in rushing your investigations. We've seen all the same intake file by now, yes? My client was in bad shape when he was arrested, but his wounds were treated in a medical transport. Yet somehow, between arriving at the station and his booking, those wounds were reopened, and some of them had multiplied. Tell me if you can, great detective. How will we ever solve the mystery of the reappearing fractured skull? Your client was being moved between floors. He struggled, trying to escape. And then he fell down some stairs. Really? Was there a lawnmower waiting at the bottom? Look, we're all adults here. So let's just say it. Your coworkers kicked the shit out of him. Well, what do you want me to do about it? I want you to uphold the law. For some reason, I thought you cared about that. This badge isn't a time machine. By the time custody was already. He's right, Tiger. What's done is done. You know what you've got. You know you've got a snow's balls chance in hell of proving your client was assaulted while in police custody, and you'll never get charges brought against the officers who did it. So trying for some, so try asking for something doable. Don't go giving away all my bets. It's the door in the face. It's already. They want him to see a doctor. You gotta be shitting me. That's a bloody KW in the in there with military grade mods. He's not leaving this building. But we can bring a doc. We could have a doctor brought here and give him the chance to take a hostage. He's not the 99 man, whereas he can't break his code. Don't say 99 man. You don't know what it means. You're too old. The 99 man, or a 99 man, refers to a theoretical state of being in which a human has replaced as much of their body with cybernetic equivalents as possible, before becoming someone who's 99% machine, yet still technically a human. And yet technically still a human. The term first appeared in the speculative fiction short story Carved Out of Marble by MP Smith, but it rose to prominence after the 2072 Paralympics and middleweight track and field gold medalist Ian Safran quoted the story as an and after breaking the world record at the time for the 800 meters. Since then, the phrase has been popularized as both a meme and a thought experiment, opening up discussions about transhumanism in sports, the business world, education, and beyond. Some social media influencers, athletes, or tech evangelists have taken the 99 man, modding themselves as much as possible with the explicit goal of approaching what they see as the current limit for transhumanism, especially the individual who has had the greatest percentage of their body mass replaced with artificial analogs as the anonymous male adult living in the Eastern Hemisphere who was suffering from a rare form of bone cancer or signing up for experimental surgery offered through Powell Industries Theseus. Powell officially described the patient as currently living a normal, productive life, though Theseus has never produced. Sorry, a second. Just making sure my mic doesn't like. Though officially, Theseus has never produced any customer market products and has not published any additional research papers in the last 2 years, leading to some to question whether the results are at all replicable. That's interesting. So here's the medical record. And seems like, yeah, he was beaten up pretty fucking bad. And then re-beaten up pretty fucking bad. Don't say the 99, man. You don't know what it means. You're too old. How about a medic who can't be taken hostage? A medical ad. Sure, great. Let's see if we can't negotiate his premium lower while we're at it. Is that a refusal, Detective Reyes? Oh, didn't say no, did I? Great. He also needs a productive detail. Lady, I swear to counselor. Protective details are for rest of off-duty cops. I don't think that'll have the outcome you're looking for. No. But if my client is left unattended one more night, he's likely to be declared unfit to stand trial. When he shows up to court with his hate caved in. The outcome I genuinely believe that you're not looking for either. We could keep him here. What, in the interrogation room? Counseling corridor. Table can't be moved, but you slide the chairs out of the way. The floor's actually not that hard. How do you even know that? Given the other lodgings he's had last 24 hours, I don't think your client will mind. So if Detective Reyes and Detective London take shifts to watch... Now we're keeping watch? It is the Homicide Department's counseling quarter. You think I give a shit what happens to this son of a bitch? You think I wouldn't walk in there myself and you wouldn't? It's not in your nature. What the hell is that supposed to mean? You either have it or you... Trust me, if I had a chance, I'd take a swing at the son of a... Yeah, you had already called him that. Shit, a bastard, a killer. But unlike every other cop I walked past to get in here, you've yet to call Sosuke an animal. So what? What the hell does that matter? It's the only thing that matters. I've got the outsider's perspectives now. Human can do anything to anyone, so long as they're not a person. Whatever. Think what you want, creep. Well, so long as that's your only request, we should be able to. I need to get into the crime scene as soon as possible. You've got to be... Like, what, like tonight? It's not rushing more than anyone else, sunshine. Everyone else? Everyone up the line has already been raring to go on this. Now that Sasuke's actually got a lawyer. Well, maybe if that son of a bitch hadn't clammed up all day, we wouldn't have said it again. Whatever, pick then, counselor. You can bully us into guard duty or escort duty. We can't do both. I need both. You'll have to split up. But I can't help with that. But I can help with that. Or rather, Sarah can. I can't? Of course you can. You can go treat Sasuke. Adonai, I'm not trained in over the law. Oh, I love this bit. She's pretending she doesn't remember being registered as my medical ad. Yes, I would never forget that unforgettable experience. But I've never done first aid before. Well, Watch a tutorial first. Use lots of sanitizer. Just hand her some bandages, and she'll get Sasuke looking good and new as new in no time. Then you can plop her in front of the door, and even 20 crooked cops working together could get her to budge. That much is certainly accurate. I have a strong core, so if I focus and lower my center of gravity... Thanks for the sales pitch, but it doesn't mean shit. Crime scene in the lower wards. I think, after what happened last night, that any cop with a pulse would go down there without their partner. It's okay, Sunshine. I'll take her down there. Is anyone else here having Nirvana? London, it's blue blood territory. Blue blood territory. Skirts, really. They lost a whole pod. They'll be swarming that place. Can't go down there without backup. Backup, huh? No, back from Contraband? Skinny guy, kind of a perv. Yeah, skinny. Look, he's got crime scene analysis sweeps going over that place with a fine comb right now. Drones, probes, the works. They'll have eyes on us before we get within 5 minutes of the place. Whatever. Let's keep in content. Hope you're generous. Selling your soul to the mob. Be a shame if you didn't have price. Hey, you coming, Blickers? Gotta find where they store all the med kits and go on. I'll be right behind you, detective. Sorry about that. It's still new to all this, really. Not old like me. He does seem to be on edge. More than so than usual. It's her first time losing a fellow officer. I think she's taken it pretty hard. Maybe even personally. They know each other? Right. Gather up all your things. I'll bring us up a ride. Great. Thanks for all the help, detective. You're a lifesaver. So this is one occasion where I wouldn't have had any trouble finding the place. So, because it was the last the last time I played, I believe, Morgan is the one who killed everyone in that building, except the cop. He doesn't know what happened there. And framed Sosuke for the murders, except the cop, which she's still not sure if he did or not. Really? It didn't take you all that long to patch him up, huh? Yeah, we just wait here all night. Clock runs pretty slow. If you're up to doing something else, detective, might you be interested in answering some questions? Once more into the depths. When I went down the lawyer wards last night, I knew what I wanted to find. I wasn't sure where to look. Now I know where to look, but I have multiple priorities to consider. It'd be nice to prove Sasuke's innocent. Won't be easy given that they think he killed the cop. But it'd keep me on the Gario's good side. That'd be nice. But what is essential is that I left out that I figure out what the hell happened after I left. And whether anyone found any trace that I was ever like. Everything else is second. Sorry, guess I should have asked before I decided we'd be sharing a cab. I don't mind, but I am surprised. The budget cuts take away your shiny patrol car? Patrol cars are shared, counselor. Any cop can step into any other cop's car. They're synced, their credentials, and drive. Damien, shame you can't personally. Yeah, no more dice in here. Is that why we're cab then? Personal taste? Police cars are full of bugs. Thought you appreciate the privacy. Auto cabs are full of bugs too. True, but there are ways around them. There are. I didn't know that. Yeah, plenty. And easy to flash in a police badge. Something you wanted to discuss in private, detective? I asked to get in contact with you and pass along. I was actually getting in contact along a message. Secret admirer, certain interested parties, and all that. You know how it is. I'm not sure I do. Does this have something to do with my client's business affiliations? There would be a lot more blustering if I were to repeat it verbatim, so I'll paraphrase. Focus on getting the best outcome for your client. More of a reminder of what my job description is from the morning. And don't broaden the scope of your investigation any more than strictly necessary. Well, I always appreciate kind words of advice. But Detective London almost makes it sound like you're on the tank. That's the city. That's the city, Tiger. Don't take a little. They'll bury you. Alive if need be. Oh, they will. How conspiratorial. It's not a joke, Morgan. Do they threaten your life with Tommy guns? Who don't comply? It's gotten more sophisticated than that. Well, maybe sophisticated isn't the right word. Complicated. Might be more accurate. Call it just a quagmire. Or maybe, or even a shitstorm. You can't get along. Go along. You can't get along to go along. Even cops won't trust you. Oh, an ad's starting soon. Okay, I'll bear that in mind. You'll end up shot in the back. Friendly fire. Magic paper. You're exaggerating. You're telling me the entire police force is corrupt? Corruption would be one thing. You could put it out. But above and below the canopy, it's all intertwined. Every tree stabilizing every other tree. What do you call that? Charter system? Communalism? There you go. The state pays criminal informants to rat on their peers and lets them keep their positions in exchange. Workers by judges and politicians to keep their men out of prison. Status quo, balancing act, a cycle. Evil as any gyroscope. Forgive me, I find that hard to believe. Crime is at an all-time low. That's not a contradiction. People hate crime, but when it gets people killed is chaos. And the opposite of organized crime is that everyone's playing nice with each other. Even Detective Rhea. Jeez. What about the man they think my client killed? Alright, I'll leave it here, and I'll be right back. I'm going to probably Uh, I'd say look for dinner, but I don't think there's one. But I'm gonna go see anyways. I'll be back in a bit. Welcome back. There is food, so I'm going to be eating a little bit. I hope everyone's having a good night. Alright, I'm gonna finish up soon. In just a second. Alright, all done eating. What about the man? They think that they... Sorry. I found a small cute... Oh. What's this small cute you found? What about the man that you think my client killed? Did he play nice? He was a special case. Got the brief. Recognized his last name. The big city. I don't put too much stock into last names. You'll need to break that habit if you continue to work in the underworld. Eep. Okay, I'm guessing you sent it on Discord. I don't see anything, so maybe not. Oh, the moon egg hatched. Okay. When it updates, I'll see it, I guess. You might have to reselect the thing you bought. Sometimes it doesn't, immediately. Right? Dream Avatars is a funny program like that. You'll need to break that habit if you continue to work in the underworld. Sasuke said similar. Good Hoppin. The only sound of Miguel and Dominic Hoppin. Arkid Date of birth, August 9th. Height, 176 centimeter. Weight, 72 kilograms. Blood type, A positive. Likes, 24/7 new calligraphy, late dinners. Dislikes, gray hairs, untucked shirts, mint. Education, Bachelor of Science in Applied Philosophy. Senatorial, awarded senatorial commendation of bravery. Posthumous. So basically, after he died. Bye, Father Miguel and Dominic Chopin to the City Council. Oh, yes, that little adorable thing. They're pretty cute Digimon. Yeah, I tried to make them bigger, but like, Dream Avatars is kind of funny about the things. I don't think I can actually make them bigger. Sorry. But yeah, it's a cute little adorable thing. There's actually an evolution line that kind of looks like him. The power couple. Why would the son of the two of the city's our city's most prominent council members be working as a police officer? Yeah, gosh, I'll have to send you the line. It's a thing. You want the full story? Always. Chopin. So, who was this Chopin, really? And a deal. Wrong line of work, then. You're only half right. When he entered the academy, everyone assumed it was a political first step in his career to become senator. I will save and try it on later. I see. Maybe it was. But everyone who met the guy could tell he would have made a lousy politician. You're saying he was honest? When still alive, all his life depended on it. I couldn't do small talk, much less make friends. Talking about cleaning up the city, cleaning up police, cleaning up everything. He was so unpopular. Why was he kept on? No one on the force who wanted to risk insulting his parents by firing him. 1 second. Just got passed around from department to department, detail to detail. Did a lot of community outreach. Community outreach? What, like bake sales? Like giving talks at schools about saying no to drugs until you turn 21. Ooh, Woof. Must have really loved his job to put up with that. Or he just wanted to prove the point that the bad. Don't you try to save the lower ward patrols for more seasoned, better armed officers? Yeah, we do. We do, yeah. How do you know about that? How do you know that? By going to the lower wards and looking at jobs you send there, of course. I read about it in the Watch last month. Oh. If Chaplin was the son of such a powerful man, why did he end up in the lower wards last night? That... I don't know. You don't know. By all accounts, he and his partner should have been at least patrols removed from that area. Must have been following on some other lead. His partner? Who's that? The hero who finally arrested the Hound of Ikuria. That's who. All I have of them is send him in a congratulatory fruit basket. Yugi Rogers. Pretty bare bones record, but maybe it'll just add to his legend. My legend. Taking your client alive. Whacked him on the head with his sidearm, knocked him out cold. Guess it is a small miracle that Tosuke wasn't just shot dead and they thought he killed a cop. Maybe, but it wasn't pure luck. The only thing that did stick out to me was Roger's record was his shooting score. 41 out of 100. Need 40 to pass. I think someone took pity on him when tallying up his score. So he only whacked Sosuke on the head because he was too bad of a shot to avenge his partner. At least Rogers knows his weaknesses. The Hound. I keep hearing that name. The Hound of Ikuria. Cringe every time. No one actually calls him that, right? Sorry, but I've definitely heard that name circling around organized crime before. Must be one hell of a bodyguard to have earned a nickname for it. He's a bodyguard? Then hey, be pretty good. Because hound dogs are known for other things besides guarding. Sorry, that was Don't be sorry. I mean, it, I don't even get enough of the joke to be offended. Okay, what makes all of the interesting food for Todd? A Detective London. You're working for the Blue Blood. I never said I work for the Blue Bloods. More of a gig worker type thing, figure. I'm friends with everybody. You are working for the mob in general, then how do I know you're even taking me to the right place? Whoa, whoa. I may pass a message along here and there, but I'm not damn. Hell, no one else is either. Whatever you're imagining is not that exciting. It's not that exciting, I promise. Not that exciting. Sounds about right. Bit like this in every city. Handshakes and gentlemen's agreements behind closed doors. You disillusioned? The state has a great deal of power, Detective London. It makes countless rules. Now, I'm a big girl, and I know that those rules don't apply to equally. And I understand the value of criminal informants and the impossible conflicts of interest that rise in trying to keep them around. What I don't get is why the state has all this strength and won't use it to world off the wipe the underworld off the map. That's pretty cold logic. I'd expect my state to be far colder. Hey, you ever heard this one? Politician, a CEO, and a mob boss are sitting at the round table, the gun in the middle. Who are you betting on? So it's not the mob boss. It's not. It's not the politician. I think it might be the CEO. CEO looks at loaded gun and sees the bullets slip as inventory that needs moving. Plus, they're used to taking a job and setting up their golden parachute before anything else. I doubt they'd walk into that room without first planning how they're getting out of it. Fair enough, CEOs only get the job in the first place by convincing their board that they can navigate high stakes. But it's a trick question, of course. Rock, paper, scissors has no trump card. Politician can bring the heavy arm of the law down on the mob boss. He doesn't shoot the CEO. Doesn't shoot the CEO for him. The mob boss can have the CEO's family killed if he doesn't blow away the politician first. And the CEO can turbocharge the campaign of whomever the politician's opponent is if he refuses to miss the mob boss. Yeah, seems like you could make the argument to go in the other direction too. Good. So the point the riddle's meant to teach is this. Whoever controls someone else to pull the trigger comes out off the top. Honey. So in the parable you set up, the gun on the table, that's the police. Blameless tool with no will of its own. Yeah. Though it was older men older men than I who set it up. Didn't realize this country's police were so powerless. However do you manage? We used to have a partner helped us out, tiebreaker. Because all three of those powerful men would be rude if a journalist told the world that we're meeting together. Got good news for you, Detective. Journalists still exist. I could introduce you to one. Could even take a photograph. Oh, I know they're not extinct. People will always write. It's that no one wants to pay attention to them. Sorry. Didn't mean to talk so much. Maybe it's nerves coming back down here. What happened the last time he visited? Something up. Put you to sleep, did I? No. Actually, your 3-seat table and all their thoughts experiment. If God is omnipotent, why does he allow the existence of the devil? Even I know that one. Preserve free will or whatever, right? Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, that's the answer most people give. But now, I'm wondering if it isn't just a rock, paper, scissors deadlock like the one you just described. God lets the devil be so, he'll terrify man. Man will always need God's form protection. And God needs man's faith. Can't be compelled. Of course, most people would say that the gods long dead in the 21st century, but we're still around. So that leaves the devil in an awfully strong position, doesn't it? You always picture 3 men in that room, don't you? Yeah, I guess I do, sorry. Do 55 feminist rosaries for your penance. I see, I see. Well, my program might be crashing. The heck? Come on, I haven't saved yet. No rewards. Okay, before we continue, I'm going to say Detective London. Save game. So we're on high roller mode. It's like I like to live dangerously. We're definitely not alone down here. But when you assured your partner that of company, I didn't think you were including the Blue Bloods. You know, I knew I forgot to mention, but that what? Well, then she's a liar, babe. Because I never said that. No, I never said that. Come on, babe. Well, that's what she's like. She lies for fun. Because that's what I call you, babe. The pet name. You like it. No, don't hang up. Don't hang up, baby. Don't hang up. Of course I do. Well, we gotta get to work, Han. I'll have to call you back, babe. Something just came up. London, what is this? London, who is this? Counselor Morgan. This Adelaide hang on. She's, well, the blue bud. Hey, I am perfectly legitimate career woman. Begin to Sinus Security Site Man. If you need anything, please don't hesitate to reach out. Han's card. Oh, business card. It even has a watermark. I'm not familiar with Sinus. We're a private security investigating firm. We provide bouncers, armed escorts, catch cheating partners, find runaway debtors, run paternity tests, that kind of stuff. Sorry, but have we met somewhere? No, it can't be. I'd never forget a beauty like you. He's the Hound's lawyer on. Seriously? He works for those copper-headed scumbags. So we're mortal enemy. That sucks. Another life then. Eh. But I'd still play nice. You will. Right. So you're private security. You're carrying this crime scene. Yeah. What's with the tone? Science Private Security LLC. Science Security is a trusted partner in business ventures, offering a suite of private security services, including but not limited to bodyguards, convoys, bouncers, private investigators, identity tests, family history research, and shipping. Answer a few questions about what you'll need, what your needs in our portal below. We'll set you up with the peace of mind you've been searching. Your browser may prompt you a security pop-up when interacting with some features of our site. You can safely disregard these messages as they are related to a legal matter that has already been settled out of court. We apologize for it disrupt your site experience. Ready to get started? Not interested in sponsor search results? See further with a premium account. Adelaide Han. Date of birth April 16th. Height 186 centimeters. Weight 75 kilograms. Blood type O negative. Occupation site manager. Sinus security. Likes new furniture, silk clothes, nipples. Dislikes cleaning types, jealous types, plays, pickup games, avoids laundry day. Least favorite chore, throwing out dead flowers. Yeah, what's with the tone? What? Now, what you're hearing is genuine bewilderment. London, why are the police letting blue bloods contaminate the crime scene where a cop died? Come on, we don't have cooties. If this wasn't the location where a cop died, we'd have already turned the full all over to them. What? The police contract out security around the crime scenes for private companies all the time. And around here, the private company best suited for the job happens to be Sinus. Letting them conduct their own side investigations is a small concession to keep the peace. A small concession? They're destroying evidence as we speak. We have the arcs to preserve the crime scene. They could burn down the building. Burn the building down and we'd still have a pristine copy. London Bridges is trying to save. The police couldn't keep this crime scene off limits without our help. He knows it. Gremlins would be smashing the shiny cameras and popping their expensive tires around the clock if we weren't here. The lower wards kids take out drones by tossing shoes at them for fun. Is this why you see shoes hanging off wires? No, I don't know why that happens. It's just a thing teens have always done for fun. Mystery solved? Fine, maybe the cops, the Blue Bloods, are all consummate criminals who never even bicker. What kind of impartiality I expect coming here to defend the Inicaria? Well, you might get some ugly looks from those with the chivalry, but no one's gonna get in your way. We know how defense attorneys operate. We know damn well how you usually win. No one's gonna do anything that let you worm the hound out of his life sentence on a technicality. You sure you wouldn't prefer that? To have him back out on the street so you take another shot at him? Oh, so flattery. That's how you flirt. What does that mean? You think we'd ever manage to gun down the Hound of Icar in the street, shake him in in a holding cell? Blue Bloods took him alive just fine the other day, didn't they? Yeah, and look what happened to them afterwards. So you won't tamper with the crime scene just because you want to make sure state lobotomizes escape for pentuple homicide. Yeah. I mean, we also literally get paid good money to do this kind of job, so we have a reputation to maintain. Rate us 5 stars when you're done looking around, okay? I'll be sure to leave a glowing review. So, this is the main entrance. Front door looks as heavy as I remember, but it's unlocked. What's that? How was this door found? Dropping in Rogers. Alright. Dropping in Rogers for the first officers on the scene responding to gunfire. No one heard that. Good thing it cleaned up fast. Checked the area, then entered through the front door. The front door was definitely locked when I arrived, but I didn't lock it behind me when I left. Have any keys? Admiring our handiwork. This is a sinus installation. Who else would Blue Bloods trust to secure Blue Blood buildings? How does it lock? You never used it before. I want to know how the lock functions. Does it lock behind you automatically? That's a good question. You looking to buy? Cause I could set you up. It is a good question, On. Why don't you answer it? Yeah, this smile locks behind you by default. You need a key to get in if someone doesn't unlock it for you from the inside. Physical key. Physical keys can't be hacked or overridden by police. Some people consider those useful features. Is that why the door is ajar? It looks like the lock's been destroyed. Was it found like this? Yeah, as long as the ARX has been up, it definitely wasn't locked when me and Reyes arrived, which was around 10:20 p.m. Hang on, you and Reyes? What what were you what were the second officers on Hang on, you and Reyes? What were the second officers on scene? That's right. We weren't far far when the 999 went out at 10:15. Long way from precinct 254, wasn't it? We were in the area. Awkward. You want the tour then? Actually, I'd like to check out the alley first. You know, the crime scene. No, sorry. You know, the crime scene's on the third floor, right? Yeah, but it has a window that opens the alley, doesn't it? I just prefer to start at the bottom, work my way up sometime. Sure, we can start there. Just be careful where you step. You like those boots at all? It was much darker last night than now. I only took a quick peek. Even so, it looks like it has been moved, huh? Yes. Was the trash picked up last night, perhaps? Checking the model number on the side. Looks like dumpsters of this make haven't been picked up by the city in a decade. Didn't realize there was DRM on trash can. There was DRM on trash can. Hey, it's a heavy model, tough to lift, even if its wheels weren't broken, and designed for containing industrial waste. How it ended up here in the residential isn't that hard to puzzle out, is it? It was cheaper for the Megs to dump their shit on us than it was to haul it to a landfill. Is that why I can see markings on the ground from markings on the ground there from uh you really are a tourist, aren't you? I've been in the lower wards before, but only at night, right? Rain's dirty down. Stains the ground where it falls. Acid rain. Acid rain, like from the history books. Not quite that bad, just smog contaminated precipitation combined with the charms of the city. Dirty rain, like I said, lower wards, drink water. Is a shot named after tequila and Nick. So, is the dumpster empty? Let's see. Hey, grab a glove if you're gonna. Yeah, it's mostly empty except for a bunch of scrap metal at the bottom. Explains why I can't get into the budge. Explains why I can't get it to budge. Careful! You get your toe trapped under there. Don't look at me when to help just because I'm modded. Are you saying you couldn't budge it either? I I could if a girl was cheering me on. Okay, London, thanks. Don't know what I was expecting to find, really. Now, just watch it, so don't let the lid slam. Sorry. Marks. 1099 is basically officer down. Jargon, an emergency response code most often used to relay officer down. And 10999 is an emergency response code utilized in municipal systems around the nation, most frequently to signify that one or more first responders' lives are in danger. Most police departments, standard issue suite biomonitors allowed this code to be sent across the emergency networks automatically. Cardiac activities or blood pressure changes rapidly due to the non-negotiable chance that moderate size could be misinterpreted by monitors, leading to false alarms. Some departments make it a policy to avoid enabling the automatic alert function. It's starting to wiggle like really, really stiff. Okay. Sorry. One problem with blue bloods and cops running security. I don't know who to blame for the shit here. I'll give the moral high ground to whichever part of the society learns to pick up after themselves first. Bombing ruled out in university fire. Panic abound last week on campus when the computer labs at Ford Technica University were set ablaze in the early hours of the morning. Students and faculty skirted the campus in anxious, hunched posture as federal agents descended on the lab's vicinity, searching for signs that could point to a culprit. But as of today, the fire has officially been ruled an accident and successfully traced back to a cooling system failure in the basement's main server hub, a freak accident that has provided simultaneous relief and confusion to the community. When the fire was first reported on, many were quick to point out its similarities to other fires and bombings recently reported as sweeping eastward across the nation. Dubbed by some members of the press as the work of the Witch of the West, each incident appears to have targeted data infrastructure, hitting state, corporate, and academic nerve centers, leaving behind significant financial grief in the aftermath. Hundreds of thousands of files related to student debt, all of it non-recoverable. Said one anonymous campus security specialist after their university's student registry records went up in literal smoke. We're reaching out to alumni as quickly as we can to try to piece their records back together, but frankly, a lot of them have been less than eager to speak with us. We may have no choice but to re-examine payment plans for our current students' tuition. Federal investigation officials have no formal comments at this time, but some local law enforcement officers have described the scene federal agents frustrated with the so-called witch. Criticism to the response has begun to surface from the political realm. Senator Colt, now formally calling the director of investigations, specify as to search the progress or lack thereof in search for the serial arsonist and other notable. Hey, hey, we don't seem to have you have your ID in our database. If you fill out a simple form for us. We can get you the rest of this article along with a ton of other cool offers and limited time sales served up exclusively to compliant ID 09. Like you. Still here, zoning out a bit. Oh, looks like Gage managed to digivolve. That's kind of like the progress that I was expecting to happen. Just a slow build up for people up to the mega stage. And the eggs to just be a kind of a funny thing to start as. Honestly, my throat is starting to deteriorate. I think I might finish this up, this specific scene here where she's reading this article and call it a night. But I didn't know they'd been all been attributed to one person, or that they calling them the Witch of the West. There's no mention of victims, only data centers being targeted. But clearly this witch is hitting someone where it hurts. If they're... Now God's involved. What really stands out, federal investigators getting involved. Most national security agencies were absorbed into the military police complex decades ago. The Bureau survived, but it's merely a fraction of the size it used to be, and very different in its function. Their modern reputation is that of attack dogs deployed by the state to make examples of political targets. Can't say I like the idea of them being out there hunting for serial offenders. He's a serial killer, by the way. That's the serial bombings article. That's the front door, evidence, and the dumpster evidence. We're going to save here, though, and turn it off because my throat is starting to get a little hoarse. I'm sorry, everyone. I really wish I could continue, but it's starting to get pretty. So, we'll be finding a person to raid out to. Alright, let's look for someone fun to go say hi to. Raid channel. It's been almost 4 hours, so you know, it's probably fun. Heading out. And thanks for someone sneezing there. Let's see, who's around? There's some pretty good options. Sorry everyone, had to clear my throat. I think we'll... raid into... Vixen, Vixen just started, and she's playing, or he's playing, my bad. He's playing, There Is No Being Wrong Dimension. So when you get over there, read Vixie's rules. Make sure you follow his rules. Here's our raid message. Raid 1 for followers, and 2 for subs. Or raid 1 for subs, raid 2 for followers. When you get there, say hi. Let them know where you came from. And have a good night, everyone. I'll see you more tomorrow, probably. I hope. Goodbye, everyone.